I have to go.
Me too. You're not the only one who's busy, you know.
Alright, so we now go file speed. American Overnight Program. The American Overnight Program has operated successfully over redacted years, originally designed to assist in providing disinformation to the naturally skeptical population of America. It has additionally led to the discovery of numerous AWEs and altered materials by allowing civilians to call in and report their experiences with the paranormal. In fact, American Overnight alerted the Bureau of Redacted and Redacted in its first year of operation alone. In this report, the investigation sector have cataloged and categorized each episode of American Overnight and has resulted in successful Bureau investigation in order to help AWE current analysis. The more redacted results of Night Springs have been catalogued in a separate report. Pope's promotion. Dr. Zolny has personally recommended Miss Pope for the promotion based on a work ethic. Fucking. Oh my god, why do I struggle with some of these words for no good reason? Work ethic and assistance in advancing many ongoing research matters. See research reports redacted for breakthroughs resulting from her work. According to her colleague, Pope has displayed a keen eye for detail and quick grasp of financial context. She's professional and diligent. Why? For some of the workers complain of her social disinterest. The review committee approves this recommendation and promotes Ms. Pope to the position of research specialist. Television proposal. Based on the success of American Overnight, we would like to propose the creation of a television series that presents superstition as skeptical thought as entertainment. In order to popularize these concepts among the civilian population and create less resistance to redirecting information regarding public paranormal events. We can also use a solid media outlet to test paranormal concepts on civilian audiences, seeing how they react to certain facts presented as fiction in the event that the Bureau ever decides to make certain realities public knowledge. There are various show licenses that we can purchase and reboot rather than starting from scratch. One particular property needs prominency, especially in its content and tone of precisely what we're looking for. It's called Night Springs and has been off the air for a few years now. Night Springs. I need to quickly check something in regards to Night Springs. As I'm thinking of it, something's reminding me of Yes. I was like, what is this reminding me of? Alan Wake. Alan Wake has a Night Springs that appeared on it. I'm wondering what they're referencing there. Like, is that referencing something else? Or I don't know. I just remember that Alan Wake American Nightmare had Night Springs mentioned in it. Anyway, collective unconscious. Collective unconscious is defined as a form of unconscious that is shared in all human minds. From this arises unconscious knowledge linking us through our ancestral heritage. Those collective unconscious, we unknowingly attribute a series of images and archetypes to all elements of our lives. These archetypes are never fixed but shift and change in tandem with our species and culture. This internal belief in the power of images shared by a massive populace is redacted in the creation of altered items and objects of power. The sheer amount of redacted exuded is attracted to the best representation of that image, imbuing a single object with massive amounts of redacted. Theoretically, place of power could likewise be formed by the simple power of sustained collective belief. Control points. Control points are locations that the Bureau has identified as being vital junctures of the oldest house. When the appropriate harmonization devices are arranged around the control point in the arrangement, the surrounding area will not experience any unforeseen building shifts. These control points are discovered by redacted detection of an unobstructed ping using redacted within a 37-foot radius. Numerous researchers have attempted to find control points, calling them nerve junctures or redacted vulnerable spots of the oldest house. The common factor in these theories is that control points are yeah. Give me a second. Success. Why do I struggle with words sometimes? Acceptable to external influence, which allows us to stabilize the oldest house and work more comfortably inside it. Theoretically, this technology could be extrapolated to stabilize the oldest house as a whole, but testing has found that certain parts of the building refuse to be redacted. The formation. The formation is a tall stone structure found in quarry site Beta, only reachable by placing distinct tokens into the jukebox object of power. The formation's exact purpose is redacted, but we can at least examine its relationship with redacted surrounding it. Measuring devices found trace evidence of redacted at certain lines running from the formation to the redacted. When examined properly, 4 direct ritual tethers were detected. Some form of sympathic causality connects the formation with redacted, which means in theory that when certain redacted form at one, it will physically affect the other. I've been urged to note that some individuals believe the formation responds to the fulfillment of purpose or design nearby individuals. Though I'd like to remind those individuals that we're the power consology department, not the power feelings department. I'm proud to report that my team was able to design, construct, and install a permanent detection system. These archers will help rangers identify when the casual tethers are active, allowing them to better redacted. Here's Power's jukebox. Item is to be kept in a secure location in the executive center. The room must be sealed before usage to prevent unintentional transportation of staff. A classic 1950 jukebox made by Songmaster Entertainment Ltd. The jukebox was found with a single record inside, titled A Song for the Others by Redacted. Once this record is played within the object, anyone within earshot is translocated for as long as the album is playing. Those involved in the object's first known incident before being transported to a tropical beach. Exact location unknown. Once this object is used in the oldest house, the only transport used to an area located in the recently manifested quarry threshold. Researchers theorize that this site's unique spatial density results in all transitioning material gravitating to its position. As has been observed with RBO equipment, the oldest house's unique nature could also be having an effect on the object itself. This object is not bound to any known individual. Attempts by Bureau staff to bind it have resulted in redacted and shall be attempted again. I see. It does not end well for them. Good. I'm candidate program. Okay, that's what down in the containment sector, right? Containment. Guess logistics is probably the closest we're gonna get. Okay, yes, I am. I had to double check that. I'm always paranoid of the fact that I've started playing and then I have forgotten to record. Like, I will always, like, every couple of minutes, I always go back to check. So I'm really paranoid that I just forgotten to. Most of the time I haven't, but there were times where I did forget, which is why. Wrong way. Now, the problem with this is when you have this place like this where both sides look erased similar, it's hard to change the direction. Yes, which direction you meant to go. Am I meant to go through security? Yes, I am. Ow. And yes, he's in charge, because who doesn't like explosions? Other than when you get yourself caught in the explosion, but... yeah.
To find new prime candidates. The Bureau needs a director. Our future. P6 and P7.
Wait, we know Outlaw was P6 and who's P7? Yeah, Victor is dead. Yeah, there we go. I'm not cleaning this up. We don't have to clean this up, right? Okay, if you start making me walk on the roof, I'm gonna be kind of annoyed. Well, I'll be kind of annoyed and also confused as fuck.
God, the only thing creepier than one mannequin is a few dozen of the damn things.
And I'm also confused as fuck anyway, so... No, we're not shooting them. Oh! Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. They just stare at you. Whenever you look away, they change their position to stare at you. That is... No, no, that's not... No. Or at least some of them do. No.
New Bureau policy. No more mannequins.
Oh, we found one by accident. It's just like, no. I do not like. Having mannequins is one thing, but when they start following you, when it... Another.
I can see you're upset, Meg. Why don't you tell Uncle Mr. Bones what's wrong?
I did bad on my clairvoyance test.
You can't ace every test, Meg. You see, everyone has different brains. Some brains can talk to each other. We call this ESP.
ESP?
Some brains can lift objects, like a baseball. Talk about a fly ball, eh, Meg? No interruptions! So who cares if you fail your clairvoyance test? Maybe your brain can throw baseballs, or talk to dead people, or make friends blind. Once we know what your brains can do, we'll know what job to give you. And if your brains are just right, you'll get to sit in the big chair.
What if I don't want the big chair?
What if I don't want the big chair? Everyone wants the big chair, Meg! That's why we're all here. Use those brains to listen for once, or the only chair you'll get in is the one with straps.
Oh jeez. Sorry. My nose is really itchy and I feel like I need to sneeze.
I wish things had gone differently in Ordinary for us. But wishing won't change things. Finding the projector will.
So much coming together in this one case. A new object of power, something we have not seen before. I mean, coming from me, that's saying something. And the boy. You know, prime candidate 6. And the sister as well. Once we catch up with her, but the boy, that's so much potential. We're talking Northmore level readings here. And I don't want to invoke his name, but it's completely different circumstances here. It's remarkable. There was an incident. Yes. We lost a valuable member of our team, yes. Excessive force. Dylan has so much. But he's just a kid. I'll take the blame. He needs some slack. I mean, boys will be boys. He's exceptional and under a lot of stress. Roberts got killed. It's an unfortunate accident, that's all. Marshall needs to realize this. We will make this work. We'll make this work.
Seems like Darling and Marshall didn't quite see eye to eye. Face of Dylan. What exactly did happen though? We get a small idea of what happened, but not very much. Also, how did they not? How did they not catch up to Jesse? Jesse when, like, they got Dylan. I know Jesse ran away, but how did they not end up catching up to her?
Is this what Dylan wanted me to see? It doesn't matter. We need to find that projector.
They were
We
tracking
used to
her.
play there all the time. Me and Dylan. And other kids as well. We loved it. This time, I remember, was different. We found a way in, deeper into it, like it had shifted. We went inside, and that's where we found the slide projector.
A dump is a place for lost things. Things that have been thrown away. Did you ever feel that way when you were growing up, Jesse?
What? No. Yes, but that has nothing to do with...
Was there a slide projector at your home when you were small?
No.
Those were before your time, I suppose. But your family did look at photos together, maybe. In one form or the other?
Maybe.
When was this? Can you remember? At parties? Barbecues? How did it make you feel? Did your parents ever show pictures that embarrassed you? Was alcohol ever involved at these parties? Did your parents drink? Did that make you uncomfortable?
No. That's just stupid. Come on. That has nothing to do with this. Nothing.
The slide projector, let me ask you this. As a child, did you ever fantasize about worlds inside pictures? Inside a painting? You know, stepping into a painting, into a hidden world, escaping and finding adventure there, away from your parents.
I don't think so. I don't remember. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, that's... I know it's a psychiatrist in dialogue, but, like, that's not a psychiatrist they are tracking. Actually, maybe not. I saw a psychologist, not a psychiatrist. But they're trying way too hard trying to get certain answers. They will... I suppose because they are working... They were working for the, Bureau of Control, but still. I guess a really forceful approach.
All the times I felt paranoid, I was right. The Bureau could have given me the answers, but they just stood by and watched me.
Wait, yeah, they've been tracking her, what? But then why did they never try and take her in? We have collectibles we can read. Dylan feigned in transcript. Subject was alone during this outburst. DF. You again, I thought I told you to leave me alone. Why are you showing me this? I can't do anything. Can't you see where I am? Why don't you help me get the fuck out of here? You always show me things I can't do anything about. Stop showing me her. I don't care anymore, and I don't care about you. You both left me here to rot. Fuck off. I will dig out my own brains if it means getting rid of you. I don't want you here. Get the fucking message. And he repeats the subject repeats the phrase "fuck off" numerous times before being sedated at 7:53. Jesse faded movement tracking. Okay, I don't even... That's just a lot of... P6 victim autopsy. Agent killed during redacted and only redacted codename P6. Autopsy findings: blunt force injuries up the head and the neck, excessive trauma of the abdominal region, A's laceration and contusions of the upper and lower torso, B fractures of the spinal cord between L1 and L2 vertebrae, avulsion? Wait, fracture of the third through 10th rib, left and right. 3 blunt force injuries of the extremities, abrasion, laceration, and contusions of the extremities, dislocation of left and right elbow, dislocation of left and right knee. Conclusion: after examination, determined that the cause of death was internal bleeding that occurred when redacted was contorted through his redacted. Oh. Wow. That's, ooh, that's pretty violent. Okay, by full summary, an unconfirmed threshold manifestation at Cauldron Lake, WA, resulted in fictional story written by... Oh, Wait, oh yeah, no, Remedy did, wait, was it Remedy? Didn't these deaths something to do with Alan Wake? That's why I keep seeing references to it. Yeah, unconfirmed threshold manifestation at Cauldron Lake, which, if anyone doesn't know, that's where, like, Alan... By force where Alan Wake takes place, Cauldron Lake was, like, happened, like, a place very early on. WA resulted in a fictional story written by the author Alan Wake Crane, and AWA in which reality was altered to match that story, though only locally and for a limited time. Event response: Mr. Kirtland, head of investigation, was alerted at September 13, 2010 by ex-Bureau agent Frank Breaker. See redacted that AWE was an event taking place in Brightford, WA. Refers to events investigated in 1970, 1976, 1978. Breaker had received a call from Barry Wheeler, Alan Wake's literary agent, on behalf of Breaker's daughter, Sarah, who is the current sheriff of Bright Falls. A Bureau field team arrived at site 2 days later, only to confirm that the event was over. Interviews were conducted, referred to 1970. Redacted: Thomas Zane, 1976, 1978, Alden Anderson, Tor Anderson. Alan Wake was believed to redacted instigator. Eyewitnesses reports highlight an old light switch, possible object of power that redacted missing. Wake was not found at the scene. Reports claimed he dived into the lake, but nobody was caught in the search. Wait, did they tell him? 2 days. Was it 2 days from the call? They're saying the whole thing went for 2 days. I swear it went on for longer than that, but yeah. Where's a replay Alan Wake again? Alice Wake, Mr. Wake's wife, was found in the Bureau of Investigation. She was interviewed and evaluated. She showed signs of severe mental trauma in the form of redacted memory loss. She was later directed to treatment. It was concluded that she had been trapped in a threshold dreams manifestation. Notable individuals still missing after Bright Falls event are FBI agent Robert Nightingale and Dr. Emil Hartman, referred to the Creator's Dilemma in the file Read the Cauldron Lake Lodge. Bureau researchers believe the event was sort of a forceful perception of subjective reality, stemming from Mr. Wake overlapping on her own. Wake has been flagged as a potential power-utilitarian. The Prime Candidate Program file for more details. In 2011, a book by Clay Stewart named The Alan Wake Files was published by Roundabout Press, New York and Olympia. Agents interviewed Clay Stewart and suspected minor power-utilitarian sensitivity. He was placed under indefinite surveillance. I was going for supervision, not surveillance there, but yeah. Notes: a monitoring station was established called Lake to alert the Bureau of any future activity. Mannequin procedures. Container received no known procedures for preventing the item's effect. Update: flying the item cell with the newly discovered Blackrock has yielded positive results. Tests with other altered items. Description: a wire and fabric waist mannequin. The base and head are made of stained wood. The item duplicates. The trigger for this behavior is unknown. No correlation can be found in either the number of duplications that manifest during the episode or the duration for which they last before disappearing. Yeah. Yeah, so they were tracking Jessie. What? How come they never brought her in then? So I was trying to potentially bring her in, but they never did.
I studied what happened in Ordinary here. That's the place to start looking.
Why did Ordinary get its like entire section to be off for AWE side? Ordinary can't have been the only side where something like this that happened, right? Right? I don't know. Fuel efficiency. We can pull an elevator. I don't know what the elevator is for. Might as well find out though.
Dylan and I were both prime candidates. Experiments. Very different ones, sure, but both in a cell of some sort. Am I out of the cell now?
Okay, so this is down here.
Is all this, the house and being the director, just another cell? Who's really in charge here?
It might be a bit. Okay, we're good. Ow. My mic. Not only punch, just hit it, but yeah. Wait, is that a New York City subway sign?
We're going back home. Of course we are.
Wait, you can craft tokens once you have enough materials. I forgot about that part. Yeah, we can upgrade some of these. Like, we can upgrade charge up to its max. Do I want? Well, let's just upgrade charge. I'm using it so much right now. It might as well get maxed out. Oh, it's like oh, there's like no mods we can use on here because most of them are tied to like specific types.
It started there, and it's never gone away.
Maintenance. Okay, no, even being in the room hurts. Okay. I don't know what we're gonna. You keep saying these rooms, but you just can't enter them because it hurts. I don't know what you meant to do there. I'm glad. Oh, you. There we go. Hidden location discovered. Wait, there are hidden locations? That's the first I've heard. I found out about that now. Actually, no, that's a lie. I think if we found another one before, it's just I couldn't actually do anything with it. I realized, no, yeah, no, we found another one before, but it ended up killing me because it was like that old stuff or whatever.
There's gotta be a way to rotate these tracks. Maybe there's a control panel nearby.
pain. We're gonna... Okay. Oh. Charge boss boost. Okay. Rotate. Wait, but we can fly. Why do we need to rotate it?
It won't rotate. Something's blocking it.
There you go. Problem solved. Yeah, so I don't entirely get why we have to rotate it. But wait, but only dump sites over there, so why are we going this way and then going all the way? Ah. Faint to me. It's a choice about direction that we go. That's why I can't move. There's a wall there. There's a trap. Ow. Well, that hurt. And I killed myself. Whoops. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to walk backwards, trying to figure out what the hell's going on, and I can't move. Because they put up a wall right behind me. I actually have to relocate a turntable. Oh, door was closed anyway, so we couldn't. I had to go down. Even look, I just went down because I wanted to explore. Okay, is this guy gonna show up again? We did kill them, but we also died in doing so. No, they aren't. Good. Are you kidding me? There's also destructible walls. Since when has that been a thing? I saw a weird paint on the walls, like, I'll just shoot it, and then it's like, the wall's destructible. Like, I knew there was, like, parts of the terrain would break. I didn't feel like they had an entire wall that would just break, that you could go through afterwards. I know the game's doing, but I wasn't expecting it. Anyway. Okay, let's... Okay, you need power. Oh, was this the plane the guy had to take apart? Wait, it looks like it's missing... Never mind, I was gonna say, it looks like it's missing an engine, that's because it is. Yeah, no, we read a report where a guy had to take apart a plane. Was this the plane he had to take apart? Well, it's not the worst thing he could had to do. I'm sure it wasn't the best either. Except, like, it could have been, they could have had to take, like, apart an entire airliner. Other than just, like, one or two smaller ones. I was sure if they did that, they would have to have more people working on it. But still. Okay, we turn the lights on. What does that do for us? Other than... oh, it opens up the elevator. Okay. Ooh, sorry. Hopefully my cover weight goes away in a couple of days, but yeah. Plus for me, always like hang around for ages. It's really annoying. If I'm gonna go to the doctor and up again. I'd bring up with up doctors before and like they haven't been much help. Or the other GPs. I've been going to the same one for a while now, so I'm might try bringing up with them and see if they can help. But in the past, when we went to like a GP for something, it was so we like a one-time visit. We always went to a different GP. Just currently we've been seeing around, seeing the same GP every time I have to go. They've been pretty good, so now I'll bring it up with them and see what they have to say about it. They could just be nothing. Yeah. Well, probably it's just nothing, but I might as well just pick it up anyway because I have to go for something else. Yes, button. I gotta close the door behind us. No.
You're listening to America Overnight, celebrating 29 years, shining a light in the shadows. Here's our first caller.
Hi. What I'm about to tell you, if they found out, I don't know.
You found out, brother.
The men in the suits. They told me it was an industrial accident, but this is something else. Something nobody talks about. Ordinary.
This certainly doesn't sound very ordinary, caller.
No, not ordinary. Ordinary. It's a town, and it wasn't an industrial accident. I mean, that's what they said, but that's bullshit.
Whoa, please watch the language, caller. It may be 2 a.m., but we're still a family show.
I'm sorry. It's just my brother lived there.
Help. We're a little stuck.
It wasn't. I went there. The people are gone, but the town's there. It's still there.
There you go.
So the
Loud.
population of an entire town disappears, yet the town remains. Tell me, was the phrase, "there is no salvation" written anywhere?
Not sure.
The same thing happened in Brazil in 23, a village called Hor Verde. More than 600 people just up and left. The government said they were fleeing guerrilla forces, but we know the truth. A mass abduction, as predicted by my regular guest, Dr. Quincy Reagan.
Abduction? You mean aliens? That's bullshit! I know they're lying!
Now I warned you about the language, caller. I'm afraid we're gonna have to cut you off. And good timing, too. It's time for a short break. Hang in there. America Overnight.
There is a curious correlation with the yet unknowable forces intruding upon our world, in the form of altered world events. These forces gravitate toward archetypal objects, a gun, a television, a supposedly haunted house. So clearly humanity affects this process. Our collective unconscious is a map of sorts. We hold the key, but we don't know how to use it. We create these archetypes through everyday life, popular culture, urban legends, but we are observing and influencing a complicated system in action. We can change the likelihood of something being a receptacle for these forces just by thinking about it. But we haven't found a method to control the outcome. And yet, there's something unique in us, in our dreams, in the conceptual reality with power with our minds. What's the cause and what's the effect? Are we the starting point or just a necessary evil in this? A byproduct, a reflection, a projection? We'll struggle to find the answers to these hard questions, or die trying.
I just realized these projectors are working, but the film reels aren't actually spinning. I don't know, I never looked at that. I just noticed that, yeah, the film reel on the projector doesn't spin. Oh, I died.
Annual evaluation of Dylan Faden, formerly P6, performed by Dr. Carl Vaughn. The questions asked here correspond to 50 years of the governor's assessment. Are you ready, Dylan? Let's begin then. In a single word, describe the world around you.
Where's Casper?
Dr. Darling is out of the building today.
He's never out. He didn't want from me. He never visits, not since Robert. Tell Darling it wasn't my fault. I couldn't control it yet, but I can now. I learned. Will you tell him?
In a single word, describe the world around you.
A prison. A cold, empty prison. Not even a poster on the wall.
What is the next number in the sequence 3, 6, 9, 12, 15?
18.
What day is it today?
How the hell would I know? It's not like you give me a calendar.
You find a rabbit in the woods. It is breathing, but not moving. You cannot see any blood. What do you do?
Leave it.
Expand on that.
It doesn't matter. The rabbit's not real. None of it's real.
What day is it today?
Do you enjoy asking people questions that can't be answered? Is this what gets you up in the morning? What you dreamed of doing as a scared, stupid little girl?
Can you describe a dog to me?
In Ordinary, we had a friend. Nosebleed Neil. And when it all went crazy, you know what I mean. Nosebleed Neil turned into a dog. Or something like a dog.
What day is it tomorrow?
Fuck off! I don't know! There is no calendar! How can I fucking know?
Dylan, calm down.
Fuck you! Fuck you and fuck Casper! Hey! Are you watching this, you old fuck? Did you send your bitch because you're too scared of me? Where is Casper?
Security, get a team in here. I need...
Okay. Yeah. Things did not end well there. To be fair, the way they were treating him probably didn't help the situation.